Hey everyone, and how's it going? This is my first stop on the Extraterrestrial Highway. We're still south of Alamo, but the reason I wanted to point this place out, if I went 10 miles further on that road, I would find the trailhead to the only... Let's wait for the wind to die down. I'm too lazy to put the little poofy thing, the dead cat. But if I went 10 miles further down that road, I would reach the trailhead to the only way you could see Area 51 from atop the Tikaboo Trail, the Tikaboo Peak, it's called. Once you get to the trailhead, it's about a 3.5 mile trip, so it's not the worst hike, but you kind of need a 4x4 to get there. I do not have one. But anyway, I'll try to see how far I can get.
So yeah, just to specify, I'm about 100 miles north of Las Vegas, Nevada, having pulled off of Route 93 onto a dirt road towards Tikaboo Peak.
Alright, I'm heading down the Tikaboo Peak trailhead.
Tikaboo Peak is the only place mere civilians like me can view Area 51 on a clear day and with the right optics. It was certainly a clear day, but I didn't have any optics. I didn't let that stop me though. I didn't have a 4x4 vehicle either, which the chatter online suggested was needed just to get to the trailhead. My Kia rental was doing just fine, so I had no idea what those people on the internet were even talking about. And I had easily done miles 3, 4, 5, and then 6 without a hitch. I figured it'd be smooth sailing all the way to the trailhead.
So far, so good. Although the rocks are getting gradually more pointier, so I am getting a little bit worried.
It turns out my worry was well-founded because just 15 minutes later, I have one of those all-too-common occurrences, at least for me, when wishful thinking slams into an unforgiving reality.
Whew. I'm wondering if the feds know I'm here now. I got about 6 miles in, but now this is turning into legitimate, canyoneering, kind of really thin valleys between the mountain peak. It's getting to be a little rough. I'm hearing scraping on the underside of the car. This is a rental. I think I'm calling it. That overachiever Johnny Harris did a video on this, and he actually made it all the way to the trailhead and camped atop of Tikaboo Peak. He actually got some of the best video footage I've ever seen of Area 51 using an amazingly long telephoto lens. So even if I got up there, it would be questionable if I could even go and see Area 51. From the peak, it's still 10 miles to the west, and I'm calling it. I'm turning this car right around, and we're just gonna head on over to Alamo. I gotta say, the view on the return trip is a lot better than going in. That is absolutely beautiful.
After a while of just enjoying the views, I spotted Route 93 again, where I'd finally be able to get to Alamo. Alamo is the southern terminus of the Extraterrestrial Highway, at least according to the Nevada Board of Tourism. Other sources will say the Extraterrestrial Highway is only State Route 375. However, I will do the Extraterrestrial Highway as defined by the Nevada Board of Tourism, which extends the definition all the way to Tonopah to the west, and then 12 miles further south from the eastern endpoint to our starting point, Alamo.
Now I am officially in Alamo, Nevada. We got my buddy here. I don't know what to name him. He's gonna be my companion as I travel this extraterrestrial highway. And what do you want to be called, my friend? Do you come in peace? Of course. Look at that big smile.
After leaving Alamo, my next stop is just 10 minutes up the road near the start of State Route 375.
Alright, I made it to my first stop, which is E.T. Fresh Jerky, a favorite among all alien life forms, obviously. Once the popularity of movies like Independence Day came about, you know, these businesses kind of popped up around to take advantage of the increased popularity of Area 51 and the mystique behind it. So that over there is Highway 375, which is according to Wikipedia, the start of the ET highway. I'm gonna go inside, throw a little business to these guys.
Teriyaki, pepper and sweet spicy is the best.
So this is where the aliens landed. It's right here. I don't know why it hasn't been discovered yet. But yeah, it's kind of kitschy, honestly, but I don't mind. I mean, why not? This is actually a really nice picnic area. Lovely greenery here. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan of jerky, so I'm gonna have to give it to my friend Probesy, I'm gonna call him. He's just gonna be called Probesy. But yeah, very peaceful out there. I've done all I could do here, so let's just move on. You can eat this beef jerky. Korean barbecue makes sense. I am Korean, and I'm glad the aliens have expanded to different flavor profiles, so you'll enjoy that, right, Probesy? All right, let's continue on.
Believe it or not, Probesy actually expressed his gratitude to me. Telepathically. Anyways, important logistics thing here. You're on Route 318 for less than a mile before you have to turn left onto Route 375. Very important you don't continue on 318, as that'll lead you to Highway 50, otherwise known as the loneliest road in America, and it shouldn't surprise you to know that the roads near that loneliest road are also kind of lonely with few services. Right at the start of 375 is a sign where predictable tourists can photograph themselves.
Now it's official. I'm now on the Extraterrestrial Highway as these big semi-trucks and RVs come along. Yeah, the next stop will be the Alien Research Center. We'll see what amazing developments they've come up with lately.
Okay, so the next stop is the Alien Research Center, literally just a few hundred feet up the road.
All right, well, the Alien Research Center is closed. It seems to be undergoing a strange phenomenon. Honestly, it's fine with me. I feel less obligation to go buy something because I've been buying stuff pretty much everywhere I've been going. Just trying to, support local businesses, that kind of thing. They say it's due to extreme heat that they're closing. It is lovely out here. Yeah, I have this strange phenomenon where since landing in Vegas from DC, my throat has been very dry. I got the worst nosebleed yesterday. But yeah, let's just continue on. The next stop will be the Groom Lake entrance of Area 51. So that's going to be a little bit intense because we definitely don't want to get arrested.
It's unfortunate that Alien Research got set back for a day. However, after viewing their website, it seems like they're more into t-shirt design research more than anything, so I don't think we'll be seeing any breakthroughs soon regardless. Next up is Area 51, and as I start off on Route 375, it seems like more of the same rolling desert hills, but that was just at the beginning. The elevation then shot up quite rapidly, and I suddenly found myself in the mountains.
So yeah, this is actually quite mountainous.
It's only 13 miles to the Groom Lake entrance road, and I hoped I wouldn't miss it getting distracted with all these amazing views.
Hey, that's beautiful. So as you can see, this would be a perfect place for Area 51 to be. Look at all these mountains covering it. So I'm looking at my odometer to figure out the turnoff to actually get to the Groom Lake gate. There are 3 gates to Area 51. So I'm not sure how well it turns out in the camera, but there's a dirt road, very obvious dirt road off in the distance, and according to my odometer, I'm half a mile from the Groom Lake entrance. So I would not be surprised if that was the actual road. It's a little bit scary. Let's hope I don't get arrested. Luckily, I have my alien on the dashboard to show that I come in peace. So where is that turnoff? Yeah, the turnoff should be right coming up here. We're doing it. All right, let's go. You and me, Probesy. So that ominous-looking stretch of road leads to the Groom Lake entrance of Area 51. It started in the 1950s, known as the Groom Lake Testing Area. By the way, it's called Groom Lake, even though there's no water there. It's a big salt flat. When Gary Powers was shot down over Soviet airspace, they had to develop better technology, and they decided to develop this site further, adding more runways and more buildings and facilities. One of the contractors building out those facilities called their construction project Project 51, and thus giving it its current name, Area 51. There are three main entrances to Area 51 by car, at least accessible by car. I believe there are other ones accessible through ATV and other methods. This one is the easternmost one at Groom Lake. Then there's the back gate, which is probably the most famous one and where the 2019 Area 51 assault was supposed to happen. And then the last one is the Cedar Gate. Now I see a bunch of dust over there, and I'm wondering if that's a car. Probably is, but I'm going to continue on. But it is kind of ominous looking, isn't it? Is that a Kia K4? What the heck? Oh my god, it's the same car. Kia K4 for the win.
So the weirdness started right away when I saw the exact make and model of car going the opposite way. At first I thought it was a coincidence, but maybe it was me from the future, leading me to wonder if I was missing any time and undergoing missing time phenomenon. Anyway, it's about 9 to 12 miles to get to any one of the gates. I believe this one was 12 miles, not really sure because Google Maps won't map this route. I was at least glad to be making good progress though.
Road's a lot better than the ones at Tikaboo Peak, that's for sure. Like over there, I had to go like 15 miles an hour. Here I'm cruising between 35 and 40. It is bumpy, no doubt. I hear a lot of rocks kicking up on the wheel well. I see a cone. Getting a little bit hillier.
Between miles 12 and 13, I would finally see signs of life before undoubtedly knowing I was getting close. And then just around the bend, there it was.
And there's this like dude right on the hill, so I'm gonna just turn back now. All right, I thought it'd be a little bit cheeky to actually set up my tripod and do all of that. It says photography of that area is prohibited. I'm not gonna go near that area, so I'm gonna respect the rules, but there it is, the Groom Lake entrance gate. Now, people have known of Area 51 for a while, but it didn't officially become declassified until 2013. But, of course, a lot of people think that it's used to store alien bodies. There are a lot of UFOs in this area, but really, a lot of that can be explained by, American iterations of re-engineered alien and foreign technology, and new technologies, developing technology. We have to wonder why, after the Roswell crash, we suddenly had this technology boom of transistors and all that stuff. I think a more popular and plausible explanation is that it's used to reverse engineer alien technology. If it's not alien technology, then foreign technology from other countries. Yeah, that's all we're getting here. But anyway, we're gonna head back. I am hungry, very, very hungry. What about you, Probesy? I'm very hungry, so we're gonna try to go to the Alien for an alien burger.
Alright, so with me failing to breach Area 51's defenses, it was now time for me to get back onto this dirt road and back towards Route 375. Once again, the return trip was simply breathtaking and almost like a desktop wallpaper with this scar of a road seemingly going infinitely into the horizon. And as usual, I had to stop sometimes just to take it all in. I then realized that it was probably stuff like this that was taking up so much time, as it was getting late in the day and I was getting increasingly hungry.
Oh, there it is. It says Extraterrestrial Highway. Fun fact, if you go on Google Maps and do Street View, it'll actually show a UFO. Kind of funny. Alright, back on the Extraterrestrial Highway. So this is on the way to Rachel, Nevada, to the Little Alien, and Tonopah is 120 miles away.
Okay, so after checking my itinerary, I realized that there were 2 more stops I needed to make before I could sink my teeth into an alien burger. Luckily, it was only 5 miles to my next stop, the Black Mailbox. This is literally a mailbox where humans and aliens can supposedly exchange items without having to meet in person. I suppose if you exist in different dimensions, that's kind of what you have to do. I read online that it was frequently stolen, so I was trying to be optimistic that it would even be there.
So yep, here I am at the Black Mailbox. It is here, officially confirmed in September 2025. September 2025, the Black Mailbox is here. And no, it's not locked. Bunch of snacks, messages, wingsuit promotions, Pop-Tarts. If I were an alien, I'd like Pop-Tarts. Really good stuff. I wish I brought something. Let me think. Is there something that I could put? Let me see if there's something in the car. What say you, Probesy? I don't know. I'm traveling light. I don't really have anything. It's 20 miles to Rachel, and I hope it's 4:13. I started this around 10 o'clock. Obviously, I've been going at a pretty slow pace, but I really want an alien burger, so I'm gonna go over and try to get one.
Alright, so it's 18 miles to our next stop, the dirt road to the back gate entrance of Area 51. Of course, after spending a lot of time only to get rejected at the main gate, I figured there's no way I'm getting into the back gate. However, I did go in a little bit.
Alright, what you see behind me is the road to the back gate of Area 51. This is actually the more popular gate to use if you're going there for press purposes. This was the gate where the 2019 Area 51 raid, They Can't Stop Us All, occurred, and I think the reason for that is because it is a lot less isolated. It's probably backlit to all hell in this lighting, but that's the town of Rachel, Nevada. It really isn't much, but that would be the base of operations for any Area 51 type activities. Now, I'm not going to go down this road right now. It's getting a little late. I've already been to one gate, and I feel if I showed up at another, then the authorities would really start getting irritated.
And now it's on to Rachel, the only real settlement along this route. Apparently, it was named after the first child born there, kind of like a Virginia Dare kind of thing, but this occurred way later in the 1970s when the town was founded. The American West in some ways still has some frontier spirit, where you can build a few houses kind of close together out in the middle of nowhere and you got yourself a town. There are a couple of fun signs just as you get into Rachel, which I will try to freeze frame now. Unfortunately though, once I got to Rachel, I would find out some bad news.
Okay, I've made it to the Little Alien, and despite having hours from 10 to 8, they're actually closed. I can understand if business is slow on a Monday, it kind of makes sense. But I was hungry, so for the gas station, I think I'm going to have to wait to get to Tonopah to actually eat. And that's still 2 hours away. Anyway, so that's a bust for the Little Alien. Although let's see what they have here. So Project Oxcart was the program in the 60s. That's after it became Area 51. I believe the Independence Day producers did something here. Okay, they say no audio or video recording, but there's no one really here to ask permission from. Anyway, we're gonna head out and try to find something to eat.
So I hit the road again, a bit peeved since this was the second time a business wasn't open when they said they'd be. But then I thought maybe they had all been abducted, which I could forgive. Anyways, as I continue to Tonopah, I have a secret that the Nevada Board of Tourism doesn't want me to tell you. And that is, beyond Rachel heading west, there is pretty much nothing else to do. I mean, yes, you could explore the last road entrance to Area 51, the Cedar Gate, but metal fencing surrounded by people with guns does get a bit tired, so I will be skipping it. Highway 375 ends at Warm Springs, which may have had something for tourists to do at one point, but definitely nothing today, which I'll go over in more detail once I get there. So if you're crunched for time, you could just turn around and head back to Las Vegas, which presumably you've come from since there ain't a whole lot around here. Doing this will save you a good 100 miles of driving. I'll be continuing on though to Tonopah, which you should stick around for since it's got its own unique claims to fame. Be warned though, continuing on does lead to a bit more isolation.
Now this is starting to look like straight up desert again, kind of like right as I was leaving Las Vegas. Which is odd because I thought we were supposed to be going up in elevation, but you know, there are high deserts, so it makes sense. One annoying thing with this surface is that my auto steer doesn't work. Now I have to steer it myself. There are first world problems. But yeah, so it's about 40 miles to the Lunar crater. I'll be going up that, and hopefully it'll be an easy hike up to the top.
Okay, so you heard me mention a lunar crater, and this is referring to the Lunar Crater National Landmark. And even though it's 30 miles off the ET highway, I'm adding this stop because it was once used for Apollo astronaut field training due to its close resemblance to the actual lunar surface. And this includes craters that you can hike. I was eager to stretch my legs, so I decided to go for it. Anyways, here I am finishing State Route 375, the end of the Extraterrestrial Highway according to Wikipedia. Going left would complete the route to Tonopah, but I'm going to turn right to the lunar crater.
Right now, we're going to go to the Lunar Crater National, I don't know, volcanic field, something, I don't know what it's called. But yeah, it's like 30 miles out of the way, so, oh my goodness. What am I gonna eat? Hopefully I'll have the energy to climb this thing. I can see already that it's getting dark. Alright, finally made it. It's like 30 miles, and there's like 6 more miles, to actually get there. Oh, no, 9 miles? No.
Turn right.
By the way, it's 9 miles off of Highway 6 to get to the crater.
This is the road? This road looks janky. I was expecting a better road than that. Well, let's see. There's some cow scat. It's an open range. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Actually, this isn't so bad. Yeah, it is a very interesting landscape, I must say.
So I went a little over 5 miles before I started to encounter some difficulty.
Holy crap, this road is absolutely terrible. It was started off fine, and I was going 15 miles an hour. Look how bumpy it is. As a matter of fact, this camera might fall off the mount because the, oh my god, I hope this car can handle it. Oh my god, this is the worst. This is absolutely terrible right now. This is a horrible, horrible road. I'm hoping it's better. Because, like, this loops around, so I might have gone past the point of no return. We'll see. Okay, this is undoubtedly very beautiful, but the road is fucking terrible. Time-wise, it didn't take that long to go like 5 miles, because I was going 50 miles an hour for a while, but then the road just became absolutely terrible. I'm worried about the Kia. I have like 3 miles to go to the actual crater, but it's just not worth it. The road is absolutely terrible, and I'll show you what made me turn around, just showing you what's ahead. Hold on a second here. So that's what's ahead. As you can see, it's absolutely terrible conditions. So I don't know, I'm just not doing it. And that looks like a lunar crater right there. You know what, I'm just saying that's the lunar crater for me. That's lunary, cratery enough. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna go with it. All right, that looks enough like a lunar crater to me. I'm getting out of here. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can't wait to go to a haunted clown motel. My next stop is the Clown Motel in Tonopah, Nevada. By the way, I have this crazy theory. Do you think it's a coincidence that Tonopah has a couple of the most haunted locations, you know, known in popular culture, and that there's also aliens in Area 51? I think that's too close to be a coincidence. Maybe it's related. Let's go and see.
And so I turned back, failing yet again to get any hiking done, and while I said the Clown Motel was the next stop, in fact I'll be stopping at Warm Springs first, which is the final stop on the ET highway as defined by Wikipedia, and I actually saw it as I was getting onto Route 6 to go to the lunar crater, and now we'll be stopping by it while there was still light.
All right, how's it going? I'm here in Warm Springs. It doesn't look like much. It's really just like a few buildings. There's a closed bar and cafe, this graffitied building here, and over on the springs here, I could actually hear water. I could hear water coming out of there, but there's a big keep out. So I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm not messing with going across on this property line or anything. Yeah, I mean, there is a cow to greet me. Hey cow, what's up, man? How you doing? It's kind of an inillustrious end to this extraterrestrial highway. Not like the beginning. The beginning had the jerky store and signs and everything. It's a little underwhelming, the end. Warm Springs, this abandoned town. I must say I was kind of in a bad mood a little bit because the sun was burning my face off, and I was hot and hungry, but the hunger has mostly gone away. So I guess that's it. Kind of an illustrious end. No sign or anything. That may be a sign. I don't think so. If it is, I'm gonna kick myself for not stopping there. There's no real turnoff there though. We'll see. But I am gonna go ahead and head over to Tonopah, which is the end of the ET highway according to Nevada tourism website, which, you know, has a vested interest in shoring up business to these locales. It is absolutely beautiful though, and the weather is very nice right now. The number of cars I've actually seen on Route 6 is, I can count on one hand, but I'm actually seeing a truck coming in. I can hear a car coming. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and head to Tonopah. I kind of want to get there while there's still a little bit of light left.
And so I finally head to Tonopah, 40 miles away, while trying to beat the sunset. Tonopah is home to 2 of the most haunted locations in America, and I figured it'd feel a little less creepy in daylight. That didn't work out too well though, and night had well fallen by the time I entered town. I choose to go to the Clown Motel first, but on the way there I see the second haunted location, the Mizpah Hotel. It's not a big town, but it does take a little while to find the Clown Motel at close to the western edge of town. I go in not expecting much. The owner was really friendly and had no problem with me just having a look around. I'm honestly not scared of clowns, and if this place is haunted, I don't think it's because of them. The only clown that really stands out to me is one that literally had my name on it. But otherwise, it all just seems very chaotic to me. I buy a mug and thank the owner for his time before heading outside to where I think the creepiest part of this place is.
Here is the cemetery. It's from mostly a mining accident. Wow, there's so many. Honestly, I'm getting a weird feeling just being here. It's just like a heaviness I feel. I mean the utmost of respect, but yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. I don't know, it's so weird. I feel a heaviness just approaching the cemetery. All right, so I made it to the world famous Clown Motel. I'm not staying here. I'm the opposite of a skeptic. I 100% believe in ghosts and spirits and that they can follow you, so I do not mess with this stuff at all. Yeah, I am not staying here, and it is creepy. It's actually not that creepy. I'm not really scared of clowns. Okay, that hotel is apparently one of the most haunted in the country. I think I'm gonna just get a drink there.
Alright, so quick history on the Mizpah Hotel. It was opened in 1907 during the silver mining boom happening at the time, and it quickly became a fixture of the area because with 5 whole floors, it was the tallest building in Nevada when it opened, and featured a unique stone facade that was all the rage. Around the 1970s, though, the mining industry dried up, and so did this hotel's fortunes. In fact, it closed its doors in 1999, but luckily in 2011, new owners lovingly restore the property, adding with it a celebration of its history.
This place doesn't really feel haunted, but it's hard to say.
So even though I say the place didn't feel haunted, once I got into the elevator, that would all change.
Okay, so I tried to get a drink at the bar, but there was no bartender there. And this elevator feels creepy. I honestly feel a little bit cold. Maybe I'm just like making myself nervous or something.
Okay, so I'm heading to the top floor, apparently the most haunted, and no joke, I was overcome with something in the elevator. Maybe even mild altitude sickness since Tonopah is at 6,000 feet above sea level. The 5th floor supposedly hosts this hotel's most famous ghost, the Lady in Red, who was murdered here in a jealous ex-lover kind of situation. Apparently she has a penchant for bothering handsome male guests, so I imagine she must have been going crazy when she saw me come in the building.
This floor is supposedly the most haunted. Apparently there's this lady ghost that only like bothers male guests, thirsty ghost. Oh my god. I honestly feel weird. Is that her? I don't know. I want to leave already. I'm leaving already. I feel weird. I feel like a tingling in my head, honestly. I'm actually just going to take the stairs because honestly that elevator made me feel really creepy. Like, I don't mess with this stuff. I'm 100% a believer in this thing. I'm 100% a believer. Alright, so that marks the official end to the ET Highway, doing the Mizpah Hotel and then the Cloud Motel. I gotta say, I got spooky vibes in that elevator, man. It was just like, my head was tingling, but you know, it's hard to say. Maybe if I hadn't known about the history, maybe I was just psyching myself up. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I feel like I shortchanged you though, because a couple of the locations, the owners weren't there. I couldn't eat at the Alien. I couldn't get to the trailheads I wanted to do the hikes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. This is it for me. It's already like 8:30. Who knows when I'm actually getting back to Las Vegas. I am going to be taking the ET Highway on the way home, even though there's a shorter route back to Las Vegas, you know, just to see if I see anything in the skies. Maybe I'll try out a little bit of night photography. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I would just like to recoup a little bit of the costs that it costs to take these trips. That would be great. Thank you and take care. Anyways, that's it. On the way back, I didn't see much. I tried my hand at nighttime photography, although the results weren't great. After getting back to my hotel, though, weird things did start to happen. A strange cloud formed over Vegas. This made Probesy excited, and my behavior changed. Alcohol was being consumed at an alarming rate. And just days later, I would find myself back on Route 6 near the Lunar crater, where I had an epiphany. So guys, it's been a few days since I did the Extraterrestrial Highway. I can't deny it any longer. The ghosts and the aliens, why are they so close together with Tonopah, with the ghosts and the aliens, in Area 51? It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. They both live together in an extra-dimensional plane. It's a big secret. Oh my God, I don't have much time. But the thing is, the aliens are the ghosts. The ghosts are the aliens. Okay, I gotta go.